Okay, this is day 2 in the new account series. What's happened so far is that we've gotten to campaign level 112. We have managed to reach Impel down. We are now stuck on the 48th floor. My lineup has developed a little bit. I have now upgraded Zephyr to level 80 that I got yesterday. We also have been given one Hancock. This is also at level 80. The reason we went and upgraded them to level 80 is that they then unlock all of their skills. So that's very important, especially for Zephyr, because otherwise he doesn't really do anything. The next one in line is going to be Kuma, so we have a strong tank. And yeah, this is pretty much it. It's gotten a little stale. That's normal, especially when you're free to play, so there's not too much happening. We have now saved up a little bit of resources. We have gotten a supernova spirit, so it's easier to make character upgrades. We've also gotten one of these poneglyphs. So one of the very important things in the early game as a beginner is to get all of these poneglyphs, because you will be rewarded with one of those laugh tail gifts. You get 50 marine shards, so effectively you get 1 5-star from marines and emperors, as well as 1 shirahoshi. In order to do that, we are now in the process of getting as much arena token as we possibly can, and I've also set my arena defense to very low so that we are easily defeated, and that way it's easier to get the 50 wins that you need in order to get this poneglyph. Okay, so what we're doing now is the most exciting part. We are now going to decide which of these 5 stars we are going to choose. So usually this decision would be pretty easy. It would usually be Law, because he's a really good character. You also can use him in fusions later on. I don't put a good big focus on that, because I think fusions are too expensive in the early game. However, even though Law is here, I have something different in mind for this account. I actually want to go for another supporter from the pirate faction, and that will be the Ghost Princess, mainly because she has 2 heals and I need a lot of heals for Zephyr. So that is why we are going to use her, not Law. And actually it's pretty nice to know that if you click on details, you can actually check again, and we see that actually in this one with Crocodile, who's not too good, we also get another 5-star. That's Luffy. I don't plan on using Luffy, but it's very nice to get 2 5-stars for 1 pull, so I'm going to go with this one. This is more value. Great, so now let's check again what we can do here. There's Lucy, there's Marple, there's one claim, double finger. Okay, and we can choose a Vivi. This will be pretty easy. We need marine food. If you have stuff like this and you don't know who to choose, I think it's better to go for the ones where you get marines or emperors, just because they're a little bit harder to come by. And now we've reached the limit for today. We can already check what we will get tomorrow. Okay, so that's Bon Clay, Vivi, or Lucci again. I'm going to go with Lucci mainly because we need marine food. Okay, so reflecting back on this, I actually think this decision was a mistake, because Ghost Princess actually only has 1. I don't know why I thought she has multiple heals. She only dispels debuffs in turn 1, and at that point I didn't fully understand yet how Zephyr worked. His stun is only to prevent him from using physical combo. So actually, Law would be a much better healer in conjunction with Zephyr, because he heals once from his tier turn 2 and once from his passive. So every round he would be able to heal Zephyr, and he would not only heal him in turn 2, but also he gains or gives him the sustained recovery buff. So yeah, this would be way better as a support. And later on in the game, I really hope to get one Marco, because Marco will really be very, very good for Zephyr, mainly because he heals twice. He actually heals twice, and he would not only heal him, but he would also increase his attack by another 25% for his 4th turn. So yeah, I'm really hoping to eventually get Marco, but for now, for the early game, I'm going to be aiming for 1 Law copy. I'm a bit sad that I don't have him now, but again, getting 2 5-stars from 1 pull is also very valuable, because it gives me food. Something nice, I've just noticed that under Limited, I've actually unlocked the Heroes Calling. We've gotten our first 25-star heroes. This allows us to get another 10 superior summons, and 8 of those champs marks. If you remember, those are the ones that enable you to buy any character that you want, so it allows you to target farm one character that you really want. So until this point, this is going to be the Zephyr in this account. I'm probably going to build a team around Zephyr, but we'll see what we are pulling next. So let's go for some of the summons. I'll take you with me, so since this is quite the exciting part of the game, so let's do it. Let's go for 10 summons. We've got a Vivi, Miss Valentine, okay, that's fine. The Absalom. Okay, Absalom can be quite useful in guild dungeon or guild boss. However, we are not going to build a single team or a specific team just for guild boss right now. Okay, so there's some food. There's a Blackbeard New World. It's actually the second one we've gotten in this account. Now there's a Bellamy, an Absalom, a Jabba. Okay, these are quite alright pulls. Nothing to be super excited about. However, we did manage to get some food pulls. What I mean by that is obviously characters that I don't plan on using, but that can be sacrificed later. So for example, this Bellamy, I'm never going to use him. However, I can use him as 5-star food to upgrade other characters. We've now gotten quite a substantial amount of Straw Hats so far. This is what you are given in the beginning. I've also managed to get some of the champ characters and also a number of 4 stars, which you can upgrade to 5 stars to use them as food. And we've also gotten some Marines as well as some Emperors. This is quite alright for the beginning. And on the fragments, we also have 1 Eno. We've gotten him from the login. We've gotten 1 Nami and we've gotten 1 Chopper. Nice. As I always say, the first priority in this game as a beginner is to collect food, decide who your main carry is going to be, and then star up your main carry to 10 star as soon as you possibly can. Okay, another thing, I've just noticed that we are also given 2 Usopp, so I've gotten 1 in the beginning, then there was 1 more from the rewards, and I've just seen that we are able to get another one through the 7-day target. If we reach Impel Down floor 50, that means we will have 3 Usopp. That's enough to make 1 9-star Usopp. Usopp is not a great character. I'm not going to use him in the long run. However, having 1 9-star character is very nice because we can later use him as 10-star food, and in the beginning it will be very helpful to have 1 strong character that is already 9 stars as soon as possible. And I can also go for some of the star upgrade rewards. So when we go to the new server, we can see that we can actually select Usopp. And if we go through this startup process, we are then given rewards like these 12 elite summons or lucky summons, and also 6 champ recruit orders to do 6 grand summons. That's going to be very, very valuable to us. So I'm probably going to do that. I'm also going to pull another world draft right here with you. Okay, so we've gotten the treasure hunt. That's okay. And one thing that I'm just keeping an eye on, and that you should do, is the history hunt in order to get the poneglyphs. So we are well on our way. I think the most important thing that sometimes gets overlooked is to do actually 50 wins in arena. It's not challenges, it's wins. So you need 10 wins per day. And that can be a little challenge, but there's a simple trick to reach it, and that is to set your defense in arena to a very weak team. That way you will go down in the ranking and you will be able to challenge weaker players when you're actually going to the offense. So I'm actually just going to do that right now. I'm going to select Usopp. I've thought about it. It just makes sense. I'm going to lock Usopp here, and then I'm already going to start starring him up. I don't really care about any of the Straw Hats that are in this account right now. They really don't matter to me, so I'm just going to sacrifice them to Usopp. I don't plan on using a Straw Hat team. This also allows us to increase our power and get Usopp up to speed with the other characters, so he will be a little bit of an early game carry for us, since starring up increases the stats of a character very much. You might wonder why I'm not upgrading him right now. That's because I want to actually use the next 120 advanced cards to get my Kuma upgraded, because then he will unlock his skill and be counter-attacking. This will be very, very valuable, and he also reduces defense of the target. I think this will be a little bit more important. I'm just thinking about it, but for now I'm holding off on the Usopp. It's a little unfortunate here. I would have liked to sacrifice the Frankie actually, because that way I would have gotten all of the resources that I use on him and would have been able to kind of progress in cheese further. I also don't really need the Frankie in the long run, so that would have been fine. Keep these things in mind when you choose your sacrifices. This way, when you sacrifice another character, you can actually refund all of the material that you use for him. Another thing that I'm eyeing towards is to get as many 5-star heroes as possible, because the rewards are really, really good. Once you get your first 35 stars, you will actually be able to choose one 6-star spirit. This should always be a Marine or an Emperor, because obviously they're harder to get than the other characters. You will actually get another one of those, so again, that enables us to start up our first Marine or Emperor much faster, and the more we can progress here and the more of those 5 stars we can get in the first 27 to 30 days of playing the game, you will actually be able to get up to 3 of them. As a free-to-play player, I think it's pretty hard to get to round 4 here and in the end get another one of those where you can actually select any character that you want from the Marine or Emperor faction. That would be really good. However, I think we will get up to round 2, maybe even 3, depending on our luck. So from the shop we just managed to get some more of those advanced cards, and now we were able to upgrade our Kuma to level 80. This actually pushed us together with the 6-star Usopp to push through stage 49 of Impel Down. I'm just going to showcase it here. What we need next will be some healer, as long for the time being that we don't have our Ghost Lady, because our Zephyr, who's the main carry right now together with Usopp, is actually killing himself. We are needing some more survivability, and Boa is nice. She does have a heal, but it's not an active heal, so I want a second one. So I'm just going to let this play out. As you can see, Boa is doing a big amount of work with her follow-ups, since she's constantly counter-attacking whenever the enemy takes a move. And there was Zephyr, who just blew up the entire team. And these are the damage numbers. So Zephyr didn't do the most damage, however he was quite valuable, and he will only get more valuable once he's really strong. But the MVP was obviously Boa Hancock. Another thing that you can do is, once you have summoned a lot of characters, you will actually notice that your hero bag is filling up, and you will have a lot of 1 stars, 2 stars, and 3 stars. You won't need that many of them, so you can go to the altar and sacrifice them. I just did that, so I sacrificed and sacrificed 70 characters. Sorry for mispronouncing. I'm not going to do this again now, but you actually do this by either selecting them manually, then clicking on sacrifice, and then sacrifice. I won't do this here because I just did it. Or you can actually quick put them. This auto selects 15 characters, and then you can unselect some of those that you don't want to do. I'm not going to do it now. Just wanted to let you know, I personally think that 15 of each faction is enough. Everything above 15 you can actually sacrifice. That's my personal golden rule. But one thing, never sacrifice your Marine or Emperor 3 stars. You will need them. They are going to be in very short supply very soon. So please don't sacrifice them. You will need them. Good thing is that doing that actually enabled us to upgrade our Kiji, who is now going to be our healer for the next couple of hours. This is going to be very helpful because we were lacking some of that survivability, as mentioned before. So now day 2 of the new count series is coming to an end. Our lineup is looking as follows. We have a Kuma level 80 with his 4 skills unlocked in the front. The other main character is our Boa Hancock, who's at level 100, as well as our Zephyr, who's on the other side, also at level 100. And we've been leveling up our Usopp to level 80. What we were lacking in the meantime was some survivability. We are trying to get this through the Aokiji, who does have a heal on his turn 2. And we've also found a rebirth book that works perfectly with Zephyr because it heals for 2% max HP at the start of the round. That's not perfect, but it works for the beginning because at every round, so for the first 3 rounds, Zephyr is actually sacrificing 15% of his HP, so he's actually killing himself quite often. So yeah, let's start one of those udon challenges. It's actually quite satisfying to see. Zephyr is not too strong in the early game. I think he needs a lot of resources to work well, but I think if he has the right team and if he's built out, he should be an absolute unit of a character. The main damage comes from the counter attacks here, so we have 2 counter attackers here, one being Kuma in the front and the other one being Boa in the back. She's doing actually the main damage of every round because she's very consistently attacking, and in the end then there comes Zephyr and will clean up. So now this is turn 2. As you can see, Zephyr's not doing anything. He's just stealing attack and sacrificing his own HP to gain this shield that he has that gives him some survivability. And now in turn 4, where usually nobody's doing anything, now he goes for his big attack. You just saw that he dealt a lot of damage to the Usopp boss. And he does this damage AoE. The reason why, for example, something like physical combo, or in the case of Zephyr, magical combo would not work is because he does actually stun himself when he's performing his turn 4. Yeah, as you can see, in the end, Boa Hancock ends up doing the most damage. Frankie and Usopp are pretty similar in damage, and Zephyr has done about 44,000 damage. He's not too strong against a singular enemy, but in a group of enemies, he actually deals a lot of damage if they are still alive. And once he is very much fleshed out and built out, I think he would really be good, but we'll see how many copies we can get of him in this account, because that is, as always, the name of the game. How many copies of a character can you get? It doesn't matter if I get 1 copy of Zephyr, I will need at least 3. Actually, I will need 5 just to make him work, because without a 10-star, you are doomed in this game. In the early game, I mean, in the long run, you will need many 10 stars, but your goal should always be to make 1 quick 10-star that carries you through most of the areas in the game. Yeah, we'll see if that will be our Zephyr or if that will be someone else, but it's actually been quite interesting to dive into him and think about how to build him.